Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you on this very gusty day. Now, we have a cold front that is just off to the west of us. Some rain is on the way, a few showers of snow in the mountains of Wyoming. I'm not expecting that, but here's a look at your forecast update coming up next on Hutch's Weather.
Now, a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, thanks for joining me. My friends at Robert Gibb and Sons want to let you know that if you have a industrial or commercial project in mind, please keep Robert Gibb and Sons in mind. Over 100 years of awesome service right here in the region. Call Robert Gibb and Sons today and let them know that Hutch sent you. Now let's take a look at what we have going on with what's going on across our fine area heading into our evening. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. We'll get to the facts first. And then if you have a question, as is always the case, just drop me a comment right here, whether you're watching on Facebook or over on the YouTube channel. I'd just be very happy to see what you have to say here. Now, let's take a look. I've went ahead and put the isobars on the good old map here today. Let's go to a regional view, shall we, as we take a look at the isobars here in Fargo, which you would expect with all the winds that we have very far apart. Showers of rain moving through eastern Montana and a cloud mass that's starting to make itself known right here in the valley. Now, as we set this into motion from the 6 o'clock time frame, as we zoom in just a little closer to our area here, you'll get a feel for when this system will begin to arrive in our area. Here we go. As we go into the evening hours, by the time we get to 10 to midnight, eastern North Dakota will have spotty shower chances as we go through. So late tonight, a few drops on your windshield will be possible. Not all areas will see that as we go through. Now, as we step through in time, what I anticipate happening as we go into the early hours of the morning, see a few of these showers become quite heavy in parts of western Minnesota. How far north the best chance of that will likely be along and south of Highway 200, the way it first gets started off. Now, we'll zoom in just a little bit closer to our neck of the woods. The isobars are still very close together. Those are these faint black lines here running north and south through the region. So gusty south winds continue into your overnight hours here in the valley, with areas of heavier rain mainly on the Minnesota side of the river. As we look to the north, up near Pembina and even as far north as Winnipeg, a chance for a few showers. Now, we'll walk this through time as we continue to advance this system into the morning hours, and you'll see that the heaviest of the rain will be shifting through Ottertail County, heading into Todd County, as well as your neighbors to the north up there near Wadena County and into southern Beltrami County for Bemidji. So that's where the heavier band will be shooting through as we go towards daybreak in the morning. Notice the showers of rain will be decreasing out in the central part of the Dakotas, with clouds on their way out too. By the time you're heading to work and school, there could be a band of heavier showers on the backside of this system. Your wind, it's going to change direction, and here is the center of the low pressure right here. So what you're going to notice is these gusty south winds start taking a little bit of a break, and then they come back at us from the north. Notice how close some isobars are. First thing in the morning, Bismarck, Minot, you are going to see ripping north winds coming down on the backside of the system, and it will be gusty as well. Heading into the mid-morning hours, look at that rainfall up there in the northwest quadrant of Minnesota. All of it much needed, and it extends all the way down into Sioux City, Iowa as well. So some heavy rain for southern Minnesota on the way, with a couple of narrower bands of heavy showers here in our neck of the woods. Wind will be northerly. The shower chances will be exiting as we go through mid-morning in places like Grand Forks and Fargo, but last a little bit longer into the early afternoon hours for our central Minnesota counties, where the rain showers will be more plentiful. The skies will be clearing, and notice the isobars very far apart up here. That means your wind will be really on the way out as well. So the wind will decrease from west to east. The clouds will decrease from west to east on your hump day, with the rain showers that will really be focused mainly right here in the Red River Valley counties and into parts of Minnesota for your day tomorrow on Wednesday. Tonight, late though, we'll have a chance for some spotty showers across parts of eastern North Dakota. So that's a look at that. Now let's take a look at what we have going on with regards to your comments here. Let me see. We got Vicky says hi. Brenda says hubby's name Earl ? Oh boy, I must not be talking to me. We got Cheryl saying my maiden name. Okay, I think you guys are having a great conversation. Good to have you on board, and I'm glad you're visiting. Hello, Carrie checking in from Gonvik. Good to have you. Hi, Cheryl. Good to have you as well. Looks like we have a lot of folks on board here, not a lot of particular questions. Here's a look at how fast those winds were gusting today. Check this out from my friends at the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network, where you see the orange colors. The winds were quite strong today. Some in central North Dakota saw gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour. That includes Bismarck and Mandan, and all the way through Kidder County, Stutzman County, approaching 40 miles per hour, and even exceeding it as we get down towards places like Ashley, Wishick, Napoleon, and out there in central parts of Emmons County, kissing 40 miles per hour. 40 mile per hour gusts clocked in and around the Fargo-Moorhead area and Clay County as well. How about 41 miles per hour was towards parts of southern Norman County. So a very gusty day all the way up and down the Red River Valley. It looks like a 42 mile per hour reading up there, not far from central and northern parts of Kitson County for the day today. Rainfall. How much are we talking here? Here is a look at one of the forecast models take on the rainfall. Now that we've gone through that, let's go ahead and show you that. Now, most of the areas in eastern North Dakota where you see the gray colors here will have up to 1/10 of an inch. Many of us will get a lot less than that because it's more hit and miss. In the Southern Valley, and this will be not too far from Fargo, check this out. This particular model here says not far from Fargo, we could have one of those heavier bands setting up. So a solid chance under the showers of rain setting up overnight tonight into the morning hours tomorrow of seeing 2/10 of an inch. And a few isolated places are going to pick up 6/10 of an inch, maybe even a little bit more. So there will be some changes to this as we start to see the beginnings or onset of the rainfall potential with this system coming through. And to show you the details on that, I'm going to show you a couple of different models with regards to this because that was the fancy one that I had painted up there. Let's take a quick peek at this. So as we go ahead and switch this over to 24-hour total precipitation that we're expecting from this system, we'll go through a couple of different models here once I get to a run that goes out just a little bit farther. So here's a model run that takes us out far enough. And here's this model that takes us out, showing mainly in Minnesota as being the big winners of the rainfall amounts there. Now let's take a look at the 24-hour amounts, okay? So as we go through time and as we head into your day on Wednesday in the afternoon and evening, it looks like there could be a band here in northwest Minnesota that gets a little bit of enhanced rainfall as we go through the day as well. 2/10 of an inch, though, a pretty good bet, and most of that will be from the Red River Valley and points off to the east. Nathan, good to have you on board. Brenda, thanks so much for watching as well. Look at the heavier bands down here in pink. Now, this is one model. Let me show you another just for comparison. And these models I'm showing you are higher resolution models that depict where they think there will be heavier showers. No model can consistently forecast where these heavier showers are going to line up. They rarely are very consistent with that. But what I can say is that it helps us get a window of a maximum rainfall amount with the system. So we're seeing here on this second model called the North American model, 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch, a good bet in parts of Minnesota and the Red River Valley. A few heavier bands appear to be more likely on this model down in central and western parts of southern Minnesota. So that gives you a figure for that, and a few of those areas could see about 4 or 5/10 of an inch. And we'll look at another model just because we can. Let's take a look at this one. I like this one. This is another shake at it, if you will. And again, it's really highlighting Minnesota as being the big winners for the precipitation event as we go through. So that's a look at that. Now let me see if we have any other questions here. I don't see them. Thank you, Lee. It's a pleasure to have you on board here. Wow, what a fine windy day out there. And you saw on the forecast model that we went through that we'll have a chance at seeing those winds die down from west to east, but more late in the day. And our western counties tomorrow don't look like we'll see much in the way of rain at all. Here's your forecast for tonight across the region. Like to be able to zoom in to the display for a bit more specific on local areas. Does it not allow that? Thanks. Oh, so if you want to look in on this, I'll go ahead and show you that right now. I'm not sure if you're asking there, Diane, about like this rainfall particular forecast. So we'll zoom in, and on this map, you're looking at Thief River Falls up here with around 1/10 of an inch. I do think we'll have a pocket of some heavier showers up in northwest Minnesota, and a narrow band could even have a good 1/2 inch of rain, but it's going to be a narrow band. It's going to be most of us in that 1 to 2/10 of an inch category. Out in eastern North Dakota, whether you're Devils Lake, Jamestown, Grand Forks, up in the areas of Roseau County, up to 1/10 of an inch, and that's it. Many of us will not see much of anything at all. Now, as we zoom in even more, you can see Fergus Falls here highlighted as an area that could be between Fargo and Fergus Falls, the recipients of a heavier band of rain. And again, this is where I want to highlight, this is not necessarily a forecast, it's model guidance. This particular model that I'm showing right here says that the band is going to be heavier right there. I'm telling you, I've been forecasting for decades, and the models just cannot do a very good job of identifying the specific area of this with consistency. So that said, we can look at a few models and get an idea of which ones that we feel are doing the best job. This one, I think, is a good one for the long range forecast through tomorrow night. I hope that answers your question. Let's take a look at your forecast trend here as we go into the day for tomorrow. Tomorrow in the morning, we'll have 20s here in the bright blue. That's Williston. And right on the doorstep for you folks in the Minot area, I'm expecting those temperatures to be a little bit cooler. Let me get this display into a spot where I can go ahead and zoom in on it for you, okay? And I hope that helps, Diana. Thank you for asking, and I appreciate the two-way conversation here. So we'll start in the Red River Valley. Temperatures in the morning near 40. Still blow your hat off kind of weather out there, and it will still be from the south. There may be a reprieve as the low moves over the proverbial eye of the storm. Your winds out to the west will begin switching direction, and they'll be northerly. So that's going to usher in the cooler air. So we'll have milder temperatures in the valley and into Minnesota, where most of us will be near 40 degrees to begin our day. It will be gusty throughout the region, and the showers of rain will mostly be focused on the Minnesota side of the river. As we look off to the west, if you happen to be in the central Dakotas, Bismarck near 40, it looks like a beautiful 36-degree start. But look at the crisp and chilly weather we're expecting in the western part of North Dakota. Driving to Pine River from Park Rapids every day. What does the weather look like for tomorrow? Well, if you missed it, Cheryl, it looks like we're going to have some very windy weather and some wet weather in your particular area. So from Park Rapids through Pine River, indeed, there's going to be some passing showers of rain. It's not going to rain all day everywhere, but passing showers of rain and briefly heavy. Now, let's check it out. What are you thinking? Well, this is what I'm thinking with regards to the afternoon temperatures. Here we go. Now, where you see the yellowish hazy colors and the green colors here, we'll get going to be close to 50 degrees again. So a modest day. Your average high temperature in Fargo is 40, and we will be in the mid-40s in Grand Forks and in Fargo for our afternoon. It will be cold enough for a couple of snowflakes to mix in parts of Ontario as we head into the morning hours and afternoon hours tomorrow. Notice there'll be some 30s out here. We're talking anywhere north of Highway 2, a decent chance at some temperatures even in the afternoon that will be unbalmy and in the mid 30s. And we can get snow with temperatures as warm as 38 degrees. So I do think we might see a flake mixing in here or there, and it might even stick on a grassy area or two. But remember, as this system's moving through, it's starting the day with south winds, which are warm. That warm air rises up over the top of those clouds, melting snowflakes into rain. So that's going to be the thing. But as we go through the latter afternoon and we start to get some backside cool air making its way in, that's when that chance will increase. And your 7-day planner right here. All right, let's talk about Wednesday. It does look like we'll have those gusts to around 40 miles per hour again. Most of us will see rain up to 0.2 of an inch and late clearing in the western half of the viewing area. As we head from the Red River Valley and into Minnesota, it's going to be cloudy and gusty. Those winds will be from the south for the better part of the day, and switcheroo as we head into the nighttime hours. Quieter weather for your Thursday. Temperatures climbing in Fargo to 45 to 50 degrees for most of the rest of the forecast period. Our next chance of a spit of rainfall will be on your weekend on Saturday on the 16th, so hunters, keep that in mind. And again, as we sneak out into next week, notice there'll be a cooler trend, particularly Monday and into Tuesday. And on Hutch's bottom line last night, we talked about a chance for some unsettled weather heading into the middle of next week. And we will have to watch that storm system in the plains. Right now, the models are saying it's going to be a Central Plains and Great Lakes storm with some significant snow. For us, that means it would miss us. So a lot can change with that, and I'll keep you posted. So without further ado, no isobars, says Brenda. I'm getting tired of them isobars too. And Brenda's ready for some snow. Oh, thank you very much. Where do I find the stars? Joanne says, I'm working with Facebook to try to solve that issue. Normally you would see the stars show up in the comments section here, and it's not available on my live posts for some reason right now. I think I've turned them on and I don't know why they're not showing up. Let me see. While I'm here, I will see if I can turn these off. Oh, I can't do it now. So before I did turn them on, but it's just not allowing it to happen. So I'm working with Facebook trying to get that resolved, and I really appreciate you all asking and all of your support. Hey, had a few pictures uploaded, and again, I would invite you to go ahead and upload your photos to hutchesweather.com. And if you have a youngster who would be interested in learning a little bit more about the weather, I just happen to love teaching kids about the weather. Hutch's Weather Kid program is a fantastic place for you to do that. You head over to hutchesweather.com, and when you go there, you're going to see this. If there are any alerts like we have right now, we'll click on this and go through it. You see it says wind advisory. If you allow hutchesweather.com to track the location of your device, be it your cell phone or your computer, then it's going to pull up the warnings and weather advisories from the National Weather Service in your area. So here we have 20 to 30 mile gusts to 45 mile per hour winds expected to continue into the overnight. Now this advisory, the Weather Service has expiring at 6 o'clock tonight. It's going to be gusty, but will it be as strong as during the day? It could still be pretty stout wind all night and into tomorrow as well, was Hutch's forecast. Now, you can get emails from me, and during the most intense weather situations, I will send you an email. No spam, just a quick tap on the shoulder, if you will, that I'm going live. And when I am going live, you're going to see this alert at the top of the page. Whoop, right now, this is the broadcast we are all talking about together on hutchesweather.com. Now, the focus of this particular discussion was where to sign up. If you have a youngster who'd be interested in learning more about the weather and helping me do the weather in front of the big green screen. That's thanks to my friends at Luther Family Ford. You can swing into Luther Family Ford and you can sign up there, or you can log on right here to hutchesweather.com. Click on this button, and that's where you'll be able to sign up. And your photos, just click here. You can see all of the awesome photos that have been uploaded over the last few days, including moon shots. We had the northern lights as we went through the weekend, and a lot of this weather, some would say, is for the birds, but this Blue Jay happy to be getting some snacks, and just look at the beautiful pictures. I'd love to have you come in and drop a look at some of these beautiful photos up here. And if you have some nature and weather photos, I invite you to do the very same. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. It's a pleasure to have you on board watching Hutch's Weather. Thanks so very much. I'll have an update coming up a little bit later in the day. But for now, enjoy your evening. Don't blow away. Put some rocks in those kids' pockets so they don't blow away either. And have yourself a wonderful evening. Check back with an update.